The entire Chinese entertainment world is in absolute shock right now as a routine live-streaming fashion sales event turned into a genuine medical emergency when Zhao Lusi suddenly and completely lost her ability to speak mid-broadcast, triggering visible panic from Liu Yuning, who was co-hosting the session, and sending millions of viewers into terrified confusion about what was happening to one of their beloved celebrities. What could cause a healthy young woman to suddenly lose the ability to form words in the middle of a live broadcast being watched by millions of people? And why did Liu Yuning's reaction suggest he immediately understood this was a serious medical situation, rather than just technical difficulties or a momentary lapse? The livestream, which had been proceeding normally for approximately 45 minutes as Liu Yuning and Zhao Lusi showcased pieces from her fashion brand's latest collection in a casual, conversational format designed to drive sales and engage with fans, transformed in an instant from upbeat commercial content into a frightening real-time emergency that nobody watching was prepared to witness. Zhao Lusi had been in the middle of describing a particular dress design when her speech suddenly became garbled and incomprehensible, her facial expression shifting from the practiced smile of professional hosting to visible confusion and distress as she apparently realized something was very wrong with her ability to communicate. The millions of viewers watching live saw Liu Yuning's expression change immediately from casual co-host engagement to genuine alarm and concern, and the footage captured in those chaotic moments has now been viewed and analyzed countless times as people try to understand exactly what happened and whether Zhao Lusi is okay. The live stream had started like countless other celebrity sales broadcasts that have become a massive industry in China, with entertainers leveraging their fame and fan bases to promote products directly to consumers through extended live video sessions that combine entertainment, interaction, and commerce. Liu Yuning and Zhao Lusi were positioned in a professionally lit studio setup surrounded by clothing racks featuring various pieces from her fashion collection, a camera capturing their interactions and the products being showcased, and a screen displaying the constant stream of viewer comments, questions, and purchase notifications. The atmosphere had been relaxed and enjoyable, with both hosts appearing comfortable and natural as they modeled different outfits, answered viewer questions about sizing and styling, shared behind-the-scenes stories about the collection's creation, and encouraged purchases with limited-time discounts and special offers. The viewer count had climbed steadily throughout the broadcast, reaching several million concurrent viewers as word spread about the stream and fans tuned in to support Zhao Lusi's brand, while also getting to see the increasingly popular pairing of these two celebrities interacting in real time. Everything was proceeding better than the production team could have hoped, with engagement metrics exceeding targets and sales numbers indicating strong commercial success, when disaster struck without warning. The specific moment when Zhao Lusi's speech failed has been captured on video, and will undoubtedly be analyzed by medical professionals trying to understand what happened and by fans desperately seeking reassurance that she's going to be okay. She had been holding up a particular garment and was describing its fabric composition and design details when her words began to slur in a way that initially sounded like she might just be tongue-tied or had momentarily lost her train of thought, something that happens to everyone occasionally and wouldn't normally be concerning. However, instead of quickly recovering and continuing as would be expected, her attempt to restart the sentence produced sounds that were increasingly incoherent and distressed. The look of confusion and fear that crossed her face as she apparently recognized that something was seriously wrong with her ability to form words was genuinely heartbreaking to witness, and you can see in the footage the exact moment when this shifted from potentially embarrassing technical difficulty to genuinely frightening medical crisis. Her mouth was moving in ways that suggested she was trying to speak. Her expression showed she knew what she wanted to say, but the words that came out were garbled nonsense that bore no resemblance to intelligible speech. Liu Yuning's immediate reaction provides crucial insight into how seriously he perceived the situation and demonstrates crisis response that medical professionals who have reviewed the footage are calling absolutely correct and potentially life-saving. The moment Zhao Lusi's speech became incoherent, you can see Liu Yuning's entire demeanor shift from casual co-host to intensely focused and concerned. He immediately moved closer to her, his hand reaching out in a gesture that seemed protective and supportive, while his eyes scanned her face and body apparently looking for other symptoms or signs of what might be wrong. His first words, clearly audible in the stream recording, were, "Zhao Lusi, can you hear me? Are you okay?" in a tone that conveyed genuine fear and urgency rather than casual concern. When she appeared unable to respond coherently, Liu Yuning immediately turned toward the production staff off-camera, and could be heard urgently telling someone to call emergency services right now, and asking if there was a doctor or medical professional on site. The speed and decisiveness of his response suggests either previous experience with medical emergencies or excellent instincts about recognizing serious situations and taking immediate appropriate action. The production team's response in those chaotic initial moments was a mixture of professional crisis management and genuine panic as they tried to simultaneously address the medical emergency, manage the live broadcast that was still running with millions watching, and coordinate emergency response without creating additional problems. The stream's audio captured multiple voices talking urgently off camera, apparently debating whether to cut the broadcast or keep it running, discussing what information to share with viewers who were flooding the comment section with concerned questions and demands for updates, and coordinating with building security and emergency services about getting medical help to the studio location as quickly as possible. The decision was ultimately made to keep the stream live rather than abruptly cutting it, though Liu Yuning moved to block the camera's direct view of Zhao Lusi to provide some privacy, while still allowing viewers to hear updates about what was happening. This decision has been debated extensively in the hours since, with some praising the transparency and arguing that viewers deserve to know what was happening in real time, while others criticize it as exploitation of a medical emergency for engagement and views. The medical assessment and response that unfolded over the next several minutes, while the stream continued, has been reviewed by numerous doctors and medical professionals who have offered analysis of what the symptoms suggested and whether the response was appropriate and adequate. The footage shows Liu Yuning continuing to talk to Zhao Lusi, asking her questions and apparently trying to assess her level of awareness and cognitive function beyond just speech ability. He can be heard asking her to squeeze his hand if she can hear him, to nod if she's in pain, and other assessment questions that medical professionals recognize as appropriate immediate evaluation techniques. Zhao Lusi apparently remained conscious and aware throughout the crisis, able to respond to physical prompts even though her speech remained garbled and incomprehensible. This pattern of symptoms, sudden onset speech difficulty while maintaining consciousness and apparent comprehension, immediately raises medical concerns about specific neurological conditions that require urgent evaluation and treatment, which is why Liu Yuning's instant decision to call emergency services rather than waiting to see if she recovered on her own is being praised as potentially crucial. The emergency medical services arrival approximately 8 to 10 minutes after the initial call created another dramatic moment in the ongoing live stream as paramedics entered the studio space with equipment and immediately began their own assessment and evaluation. The professionalism of the medical responders was evident as they quickly established Zhao Lusi's vital signs, asked about her medical history, conducted neurological assessments to determine what specific symptoms were present, and made the decision to transport her to a hospital emergency department for comprehensive evaluation and imaging rather than attempting to treat her on site. The speed and efficiency of the medical response has been praised, though the fact that all of this was happening with a live camera capturing everything and millions of viewers watching in real time created obvious privacy concerns and awkwardness that the medical team had to navigate while focusing on their patients' needs. Liu Yuning remained close to Zhao Lusi throughout the paramedic assessment, holding her hand and providing what emotional support and reassurance he could while staying out of the medical team's way and answering their questions about what had happened and what symptoms he had observed. The decision to finally end the live stream came as paramedics were preparing to transport Zhao Lusi to the hospital, with Liu Yuning making a brief statement directly to camera before the broadcast ended. His words, delivered in a voice that was clearly strained with emotion and stress, thanked viewers for their concern, asked for privacy and understanding as Zhao Lusi received medical care, and promised to provide updates about her condition as soon as information was available and appropriate to share. The sincerity and genuine distress in his voice and expression made it impossible for even the most cynical observers to suggest this was manufactured drama or publicity stunt. This was clearly real fear and concern from someone who cared deeply about what was happening to Zhao Lusi and was struggling to maintain composure while managing both the immediate emergency and the public nature of the situation. The stream ended shortly after his statement, leaving millions of viewers in a state of shock and concern as they waited desperately for any updates about what was wrong and whether Zhao Lusi would be okay. The medical speculation and analysis from doctors and healthcare professionals who have reviewed the available footage has centered on several possible causes for sudden speech loss, while maintaining consciousness and apparent awareness. The most concerning possibility that multiple neurologists have mentioned is stroke or transient ischemic attack, where blood flow to speech-controlling areas of the brain is interrupted, causing sudden inability to produce coherent language while other functions may remain intact. This possibility makes the emergency medical response and hospital transport absolutely crucial, as stroke treatment is extremely time-sensitive with outcomes heavily dependent on how quickly intervention occurs. Other medical professionals have suggested possibilities including severe migraine with neurological symptoms, seizure activity affecting language centers, or various other neurological conditions that can cause sudden speech disruption. The reassuring factor that multiple doctors have noted is that Zhao Lusi apparently remained conscious and responsive to physical prompts throughout the crisis, which generally suggests better prognosis than scenarios where consciousness is lost, though this doesn't eliminate the serious nature of whatever occurred. The social media explosion as news of this live stream emergency spread has been absolutely unprecedented, with Zhao Lusi's name and related hashtags dominating trending topics.